We got sound. It's gonna be a late one. Welcome back. We have a bit of a different view set up today. Can you see this? You kind of can. Let me move the Sony out of the way. We have the other Sony there. We got a few things. I gotta get something set up. It is late. I don't know how much I'm going to talk, so I guess we'll just go off the battery of my laptop. That one is a different size. I don't want to risk it. Anyhow, welcome back. I was going to record this, however, recording and editing takes a lot of time and I'm lazy. I can be lazy with technically 2 different jobs, correct? Alright, let's go ahead and get this Bluetooth in, what is it called? Pairing mode, that's right, pairing. And let's pair it. Open Bluetooth preferences, see if we can get some sound. There it is. Pair it. Alright, let's hear this. I do apologize. Perfect. It's going in my ear. Oh boy, there's names up there. Whatever, we'll leave it there. Alright, that's running. Does we have sound? We do have sound. Amazing. Alright, so we have some stuff to set up tonight. We have one box. Let's not knock this over. We have one box here. Does it fit under that camera? Pretty big, so I guess we'll go with the bird cam for now. I have to readjust. I moved this. I actually made a new mount for it, which I'm going to show a little bit of a tutorial how I made this. It's like an easily very easily clampable camera mount. But yeah, that's not what we're here doing tonight. Let me snap that back up. Okay. Alright, we are on the bench. Alright, so we have this box. We will get into this one in a little bit. Let's move it out of the way. As for right now, oh, I don't even know if I want to lift this up. Let's try it. We'll try and get a little bit better view of this. Let's see, what is this reset? Transform. Reset. Okay, so you just get to see a little bit more of the bench. Alright, anyhow. Wow, this is massive. I'm going to open it up and then I think we'll move it off of the bench because we're actually going to need the bench for what we're doing here. Alright, we'll just hold this one up for the time being. So, just to kind of get a little bit better view of what we're dealing with here. We got some parts. Okay, so I'm going to pull these out one by one. We'll start assembling them and probably switch over to the normal above camera. Let's see, as a matter of fact, what we can get with it right now. So a little bit better picture. We've got a base. We have the part that lets the scope mount hang. We have the actual scope mount here, which you can't see. We have the arm. We have the upright. Let's go ahead, move this back off the bench, get it to the floor. And start unwrapping. Alright, number one is the base. This thing is no joke. It's heavy. I don't know what it weighs. But here it is. You can definitely do a one-hander. Not easily. It's going to, all the weight's going to fall. If you try to hold it one hand, it's all going to kind of fall off. Let's grab another part. Camera, what are you doing? You know, I fixed this before and I forget exactly what I did. Did we go to the plus side? Yeah, it's not too bright. Watch. Once we get some silver in here, it's gonna, we'll lose it. Alright, so we have our base. How this is gonna work, you're gonna want your base away from you. This is towards you, towards your working area. Then you have your upright that you would set in there and start threading in. Oh, that's an annoying sound. Alright, once that's in, I'm going to give it a slight little torque. It seems as though we have some type of set screw down here. I'm not going to mess with that right now. You can, if we're going for a type of side view, that's exactly what I've set up right there. Are we buffering? We are. Hold on, I know what's happening. Where are you? That's why we're gonna kill you. Alright, the stream should hopefully come back. Hopefully. It says it's good, but I'm getting nothing but buffer in here. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and hit refresh just in case it crashed on the live control panel YouTube. Okay, so it is going, allegedly. Alright, 5-second delay, not bad. Anyhow, I'll show this again just in case it was buffering for anybody else out there. It was buffering for me horribly. Here's what we got. Am I zoomed out all the way? Okay, I am. Alright, so we got our base, we got our upright. We're going to kind of set this over off to the side a little bit. I would say the next logical part, we're going to go ahead and pull out the arm. And I will give you a model number for this scope. Give me a second. No part of this thing is light at all. Alright, let's go. Nothing. Alright, perfect. Let's go here, let the video come up. We're going to click pause, and we're going to scroll down, show more. We will open that up. So this is what is it? The Amscope 7x to 45x, 7 times to 45 times simofocal stereo lockable zoom microscope dual arm boom stand. Accessories coming in for it. Can I show this? Sure I can. It's Amazon. This is what we're setting up. So, and the way they have it is with the weight, and I kind of wonder, is that actually right? Should that weight not go back to hold the weight? We'll try it. I've seen them set up both ways, but you know what? That could be wrong. Hey, whatever. Anyhow, let's get back to it. I could see, because when you pick this thing up, this is where all the weight is. It's right here. It's massive. Now, it's fairly easy for weight to lift that way. So if you have some weight hanging on this, which we will in the end, if we have weight like this hanging this way, it's easy, very easy to lift that way, but this way not so much. It seems like there's more resistance. So I'm actually going to try it both ways. Is this up? It is up all the way? Okay. Alright, let's go ahead. Alright, so setting on your arm, you want the L, face the L downward. And if I have to spin this around in the end, I will. Am I going to smack into the camera? Possibly. Alright, so what we're doing here now is turning our set screw on this part. Right now we're going to go ahead and set it there. This pulls forward. Much easier for the weight. Like I was here. Let's go to a camera that makes sense. Okay, so we still have more weight to hang off of this end. Granted, this is probably going to be locked. You're going to not let your microscope float freely. You could. It's a crazy idea. Will it work? I don't know. I don't think so. Anyhow, you're going to have your weight. Boy, I got to turn this down. I never gave a thought that you might be hearing it. Let's go there. Okay. When you have weight on this, and granted you're going to have your scope hanging, you're going to want room to work under it. If it is out this way, so let's lock this there, not much weight at all applying to this thing. Not much weight, and it wants to flip with all that weight here. Let's go the other way. We're going to lock this here and move it here. Okay, you can still flip it, but it takes a little more weight. We'll actually try it with the scope on. We can unlock our little set screw here, and we can spin it both ways and check to see. See, it seems like it would make sense that way. I could be 100% wrong, and maybe we need to hang it that way. For now, I'm going with instinct. Alright, we have that. So we're going to focus on this end, not the side. Not this side. We're going to put the weighted part back and then lock our side handle there. And let's see if we can get our Super Sony to see that. Of course we can. Alright. The piece that we want to go on there is kind of a goofy piece. Let's get it out. Lighten up, camera. Why you gotta be so serious and dark and moody all the time? So we have a piece that looks like so. There's a very nice point about these handles that I'm going to point out here in a moment. We have this piece. If you look at the back, you have... Are both pieces there? Of course, okay, they are. Okay, let's see if we can get this to focus. Zoom it in a little. Alright, so you can see those two pieces inside. Well, there's one in there now, and you can see this one that has a bit of a bevel, like a beveled edge on it. They're also slotted on the bottom. The slots on the bottom feed into where these screws are. That way they only go in there one way. And then you have those two beveled pieces. Maybe we can pull this out and not drop it and lose it. Let's try for that. Okay. So we have this piece here. There is the beveled part. That's where it threads through, and then you have the slot in the bottom. You can see that. That slot is what, again, lets it go over the screw. The bevel goes in and is going to thread together, or thread onto this little handle here. Leave some slack in it. It's going to do. That whole mechanism there, what that's going to do is fit over this peg. So with those apart, we're going to go ahead and slide it over, get it back, and then we can spin this. We're spinning this handle on the side, just for reference of a better picture. Not the one that locks the system. Not the front one, but this one here. That's the one that we're working on for the time being. Let's lock that. We'll drop this, just so we can get a little further away from where we're working for now, or from the actual Sony. Alright, so once this is on, let's grab an Allen. Hopefully this is the right size. If not, we'll grab one that is. There's an Allen screw here, and that one is completely wrong. Alright, forget grabbing one. We're going to grab the whole set and bring them over. We have some T-handles readily available. Alright, it is a 3mm. We have this little screw here. We're going to twist that in to set that there. Do you have to? I would say I would, for safety's sake. Go ahead, twist that in. Now granted, if you wanted to have that set screw set screw that's right here loose, how can I show this? Alright, let's tip this up. You can see that there is a set screw there. That's what we were just tightening. I suppose you could keep that loose if you wanted to and unloosen this. I don't see any reason for take and have this whole piece angled. If you wanted your scope at an angle, why, I don't know. You can adjust it angled this way, I suppose, if you wanted. It doesn't make sense to me, but you know what? There's what, between 6 and 7. Okay, and now the thing that I wanted to say about these handles. Now say when you're getting them tight, they're going to come around and not hit each other, but they may come close and not be in an opportune position. They actually unthread out of here. So it'll unthread out, you pull it out, insert it in the other side, and thread it right in there. So it will actually thread from either side to get it in an optimal position for you. A very nice feature. Not all hardware that I've seen comes with this. Usually this is something you see on nice, what do I want to call it? Drill. What are the drills that are adjustable? Like a drill press, or like a mill. Mills have them. Lathe, wood, metal. Most of them have adjustable tightening handles, if that's a correct word. Let's move this back a little bit. Now we're going to focus. That's tight. We probably will move this to have it back out of the way. And we have this one here. We're just going to loosen it a turn or so. Okay, so they do, in a sense, miss each other. If I were to tighten this in, they are going to smack ends with each other. How much? I don't know. So definitely going to move that one. Go ahead and do that now. Tight, tight. We have this one loose and this swinging loose as well. Let's get our Allen wrench out of this box. We'll throw our plastic back down in, and we will grab out our last piece. Let's grab a drink. These are awesome. Not bought from anywhere, just a recycled, reused cup. Strawberries, blueberries, sugar, ice cubes, vanilla, plain vanilla, not vanilla bean, not French vanilla, just plain vanilla ice cream. Any brand usually works. Amazing. Blend it up. Alright, moving on. Let's get this piece out. Can we focus down there maybe? Is that a thing? Sony? Can we focus that way? Okay, and now. Okay. Let's focus down here slightly. And then we're going to lock it so it stays there. Alright, so this piece here, I suppose if you really, really wanted to, you could mount this with it up that way or up that way. I don't see the way it makes sense to me is sit up above here. To get this onto this part, let's unlock that focus. We have a threaded cap that we need to pull out. Wow, that's almost reminds me of a C2 mount. I don't think it is though. Make sure our set screws out. We're going to just simply slide this up this part here. Scope's going to sit up here. You know what? Somebody probably has set one up another way, but that's the way I'm going with. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this set screw, or not set screw, but tension knob. Put tension on it. Put the cap back. Oh, we're running into the TV. Put the cap back on the bottom here. So cap's back on the bottom. We can undo this and it's not going to fall. And I'm guessing that's just a simple mechanism for when you're adjusting this tight. You want to adjust. Oh, wrong one. Where are you? Okay, so you want to drop this up and down, and if you lose your screw or grip, it goes and doesn't fall and drop your scope all over the place. Let's bring it up a little, tighten it down. Much easier looking at this now. I'm getting quite the bigger setup. So we do still have this part of the arm. Extend that back. It seems like I don't want to really press on that part too much. But when you extend it out and just press, I'm going to press here instead of on this microscope. It's easier to flip. Let's check it. Let's go 180 degrees and lock. What do we want to lock? This one. Lock that one down. And check it here. I don't know. I might have been wrong in my statement. It is harder to flip that way, but let's extend this out and see. If we have it way out working on something big, that's fairly easy. Now, I guess the question is what do I want to do? Do I want to look at the M-scope logo or the word M-scope on this side, or do I want this nice curved side? Don't know yet. We'll see. Anyhow, let's throw this out. Easy to flip. We'll test it with the full weight of the actual scope on. Alright, bring it in, and let's go back to the Sony. Alright, finally, I think, let's throw that out of the way. Let's move this out of the way, and let's we go back to the bird cam. we're going to unpack our other box now. Well, it's the phone. We're going to be safe with this one. We have an up-down fragile. Oh, we got an up. Okay. No fragile. No up-down. All right, let's move that in. We'll take the lid off. We will throw. We have a cover. We've got some instructions. This in case you get hungry and you need a snack. You usually pack these with, a lot of stuff, shoes, sensitive equipment, electronics, many things. They're kind of like really dry, dehydrated fruit snacks. I don't recommend them though. In all seriousness, do not eat the gel silica packet. Probably make you sicker. Who knows what. All right. Let's see what we have here. Seems like this is an adapter for part of the scope. Looks like we have eyepieces. Looks like we have the actual scope itself. Let's not drop that. And then we have a little rinky-dink Allen wrench that we may need. We'll pull that out. And get this styro out of the way. Let's throw that in there. And pick that phone back up, put the upside up, although it doesn't matter, and go back to our Sony for some finer details. Okay. Okay, what be you? Looks as though it is going to mount. I don't want to set that on anything. We'll set it there for now. It's out of the way on the bag. Let's get this out. It looks as though it is going to tiny Allen wrench. Let's be curious for a moment. We're going to set this down. Instead of putting it in a mount, make it risky. Do you fit in there? No, you don't. Those set screws are tiny. Quite possibly. Do you go there or do you go... Ah, okay. I understand. The mystery has been answered. And this seems like it is a bit high. That's mine. We'll put that back so I don't confuse it with any that came with the microscope. Let's get the one out of the bag here. Okay. Is it a better fit? Indeed it is. Okay, so we can turn that out. We have those little set screws, and then I'm guessing this piece would set in here. That being that, which we're gonna get rid of this real quick. Yeah, super quick. This is leaving. This is definitely leaving. It's a little high. It seems as though, what can we mount? What is going to mount there? What mount are you? Let's take a look. What is that? C2, C12? I don't know. This other mount, I'll have to look in the book to see what mount they might say these are. It looks like a camera is going to mount on there. However, with this adjusted, that's dropped all the way down. That seems like it's a bit high, and I think I have heard other. We're going to get something that is much smaller. 0.3 reducer instead of this one. I don't know. I need to do a little more research into it. We do have one or two coming, so whenever that stuff gets here. Lock. Definitely crazy equipment. I think we'll read the manual later. Definitely not during this stream. Alright, let's move this guy out of the way. We'll probably end up putting this cap back on here for now. No, I don't. Maybe we'll let it on there. It looks cool for right now. Alright, let's be gentle with this and set it. And pull the amp scope over this way. And there we go. Oh wow, that's going to be all up in our camera's business. Okay. I'm going to loosen the bottom one. I'm going to drop it down. Loosen the top, not get pinched, drop it down, and get it a little further away from the camera. Are we missing some knobs here? Or did you just get the option? Really now, tell me that's not just is that a motherboard size screw? I have a mount at home that is it lets me attach it goes from, no, I don't have it here. It literally goes from E-mount, here, we'll go over here. It goes from E-mount, Sony camera, over to, I think, C-mount or C2. It's a telescope adapter. It lets me mount a camera right to a telescope. I'm going to see if anything happens to fit this weird goofy piece on top of this little top mount, because there is some threading, there's some different stuff there. I know you can buy a camera specifically to set on this, but I want to be curious and see, can I get my Sony to work on top of the camera? Why not? Seems like a good challenge. Alright, let's throw this back up on the arm, and we'll actually, let me plug it back in and we'll give it a check and see. Alright, on, says you. Alright, let's take a look. Finally go there and see. Pretty big setup, pretty good size that we're working with there. It's kind of the wide view. I didn't know how well it would work for setting something up, but the overall afterward view of things. Okay, let's lock this microscope in on the side here for now. I don't want anything falling. Everything seems good there. We have that, and we have this adjustment here that winds it down. And how much up? About the same amount up. We're gonna, yeah, same amount up. So we can raise and lower. Alright. And let's look at our eyepieces while we're here. Alright, so we have the eyepieces that come on it, that are actually on it, and we'll get into this. Probably not on the stream, and I don't have a way to feed out what we're seeing through the scope to the stream right now, unless that adapter that I have will work with this top port where a camera can go. I don't think it will. I think we're going to buy the proper one if we didn't already order it. And it looks like we have, what are these? 10 to 20, and oh yeah, you're definitely going to need those in there. 10 to 20. How about that? We'll just drop it down in where it needs to be for right now. All the way. Tighten it up. Loosen the other one. That is down. That's tight. I'm guessing this must be some sort of thread mechanism. Like I said, I'm guessing here. I'm not a microscope expert. I know a little bit about optics and a lot more about cameras. It doesn't seem like it's going to let anything fall out if I take it out. I don't want to turn it upside down and test it, but it seems like it's kind of a standoff that, let's see, we have it threaded out pretty far. So let's set it in there. There's that little mark. Let's put the little marks. We don't have any actual marks to go by, so we'll line them there. I'm going to say that as for right now, that this has absolutely nothing to do with setting it up higher. I'm going to thread it back in and then drop this into the eyepiece. We do have a light coming for that goes onto the bottom. Oh, nice. I was going to wait and do everything all at once, but I figured we'll tackle one little project at a time. This being number one. They send a cover with the scope, but I'm thinking some type of cover for those. Of course, if you're going to be working a lot, are you really going to cover it? Probably not. I don't know. Personally, I think it's a good look. It would be a bit heavy to carry around. Who's out there? Donnie. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Hopefully the stream's not buffering for you. I keep losing it here. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, we could go one of two routes. I think this whole scope setup would be a little heavy to carry around with you. I mean, for sure, glasses are much easier. You just throw them on your face and forget about it. But the scope, I mean, we're going to see so much more. We can get real close. A lot of weight to carry for sure. Much heavier than a set of glasses. Yeah. Alright, so there that is. I'm curious. What thread pattern threads in there? Because, and I say because we're going to take a moment and move some junk and see potentially what thread pattern are you? And if I happen to have that, I know I have one. So I guess I didn't need to buy a light, but I kind of did because I don't want to lose access to the light that I have on my mirrorless camera, like the overhead one that you're looking at this through now. But I do have the leftover rings that I don't use on any of my lenses there. So we're gonna see which one of these bad boys fits the microscope. Do I have one that goes small enough, or do I need smaller than what I currently own? So they all get bigger as they go out. And these don't have threads inside, they have threads outside, so it has to thread in. Yeah, that's a definite no-go. So I do use, I don't know if I use the 58 or the 55. I'm not entirely sure. What do we have here? Let's take our microscope light down and thread the one off of the Sony. I think this is a 49. We'll see if it's even smaller yet. And sadly, our light's not going to stay there, so we'll throw it up here out of the way for the time being. Don't fall and hit anything, please, light. Or we'll let it hang and look dumb. Well, you know what? We are very close. Here's what I'm going to do. There you are. Okay, plastic tool, come here. Can we just kind of wedge you there for the moment to keep a little Sony light up there? Sure we can. Alright, we're going to check my 49 millimeter. I don't think it's going to work for the scope, but let's go ahead and pop this out. Flip it over, get a good grasp on it, and see, does the 49 thread in, or does it have to go smaller? Indeed, I believe it seems, yeah, 49 is not the ticket. I'm thinking that a light is going to clamp around anyhow, but it does have some threading in there. So possibly a 48. This 49 is a no-go. Let's set the microscope back in, and I just knocked the light down. What else do we have here? Look at your lenses, fool. Look at your lenses. What do you have? You do have a few reducers. What is that? That is a 50 millimeter. Not that one. What's on you? Nothing. The only other ring that I have here is, I guarantee it. Let me look. Oh, this thing is tiny. So it's a, yeah, 40 and a half. Much too small. And 40, what did I say? 49? 49 millimeter is just a little too big. 48 or 47 is what would thread in, if anything does thread in, and if not, it'll clamp around the outside. So let's go ahead. I'm going to thread that back onto the camera. We'll take another angle here. I'm going to put this back onto my overhead cam. Alright, and there we have it. Let's go back to it. Take a look. I don't think there's anything else. There is room. The light, if I'm not mistaken. Let's look. Let's go look at a light quick. Why not? What is that? That's a 52. That's way off base. Way off. Ooh, I could force that lens hood over it, but I don't want to do that. Alright, let's take a look. Okay, so the ring light, eyepiece, eye shelter, eye guards. Let's take a look at this. What is that little threaded thing there? What are they giving you with it? Tell us about that stuff you're selling to us. 48 millimeters, so I have a 49. A 48 is what ring adapter. Power 2.5 inch inside, overall outside diameters. So we will have our light. It should be here very soon. Nice. Eyepieces, what is that? The Barlow. Okay, so Barlow lens would be for the bottom. Barlow would go on to, let's take a look at it. How big is that? 48 millimeter. Okay, so that would actually thread on to the bottom of the microscope, and we do have something. I don't know if it's a 0.5 or 0.7. I'm not entirely sure. En route. You know, just some days your people just can't get everything all together in one go. Sometimes it takes them, 2 goes to get everything shipped out to where you need it. It's just the way it goes down sometimes, not the same day. Alright, so that concludes the rest of this. I'm going to go around and tighten everything up on the scope. Wish me luck. Not going to over tighten it so everything breaks. Definitely not. Just give it a good torque on everything and see where a good focus distance is, where I can, where I need to drop it to. And then we have our final adjustment here and here. And then I believe focus, if I'm not mistaken, the ring light and the Barlow lens and all that would go on here. There is a different adapter, I believe, that we're putting here, and a camera. I'm very curious to see if I can put a mirrorless camera on here with an adapter I already own and get a picture out. If I can do that, the great thing is if I can get a mirrorless camera on this part here, I don't have to buy yet another camera. Or, nobody, me, Dave, nobody's got to buy another camera. So I'm hoping the adapter I have is going to work. I'm telling you, something about that size thread reminds me of the port on the back of my telescope. It's going to be as simple as I could cover this, take this home, and see if the back of my telescope threads onto that or not. If anything, it might be just a touch small. And aside from that, let's unlock these again and see what's what here. We have even more threads. That really looks like a size which that's not going to benefit me in any way anyhow. All these things have their cameras and adapters for a reason. They're made to work together. Could you mod it and get a camera to work? Sure, it might be a goofy zoom, or you might have something kind of like do I want to say it, like that effect, only it would be more like that. You would get an effect like that where you have like a tube around it if you mod your own adapter for microscope or telescope. You might end up with a little bit of that. Even when you put the goofy lenses that clip onto your smartphone over the back, you do end up with this effect that I don't even know what it's called right now. I'm so tired. Vignetting. You'll end up with that. Anyhow, that's that. I'm going to go ahead and clean up this mess and get out of here. It's late. It is time to go snooze. Morning always comes earlier than you think. And we'll be back to check this out tomorrow, see what we can get into with it. Let's keep these wrenches separate for now. Thanks for hanging out. We didn't really get our hands too dirty. No computers, nothing crazy. We just set up a scope. I mean, come on. Like I said, the glasses are this. I think this is, as far as geek level goes, this is you get a way better geek score if you're using this thing to see than a set of glasses on your face. Glasses are old school compared to this. Anyhow, have a good morning. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out, Dunny. Much appreciated. Come back anytime. Come on anytime. I'd love to have a conversation. I'll pipe you in remotely if ever you want to. I think it would be great. Good fun. Hopefully that controller thing worked out for you. Hoping that worked out good for you. Got the drivers in, everything working good. Playing games with a wireless controller instead of wired. Even though wired's good. Your batteries don't die. So, wireless is still more fun. Definitely. Anyhow, people now, people in the future, have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Certainly, you're watching this during one of those times. As always, thank you. I do appreciate each and every person that clicks that link, gets over here. If that stuff, and let's move that out of the way. If that stuff is your thing, if this stuff is your thing, any of it, if you'd like it, share it, get it out there. Technology is not going away. Share this, like this, get this video out there. It's not, microscope setup, not crazy. We didn't solve world hunger or create some new astounding, amazing technology, but hey, we set up a microscope, something new to somebody and myself. So there you go. I will be back later today, much later today. So I will see you then. Thank you, as always.